All right, what is up, everybody? We are back on the Of Like Minds video podcast. Jayton Gray once again. Today we are going to be talking a little bit more about Jayton, the big brother, Jayton, the family man, and just Jayton being the example for his little baby sister. So Jayton, just if you could just share, what how you've kind of been a role model and a mentor to your baby sister, and just the things that you do to help her grow up in this messed up world.
No, for real. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I have a little sister. Her name is Victoria Garland. She is 7 years old, about to enter the second grade. We have like a 16-year difference. I was the only child. I was the baby of the family for 16 years, and then she came and passed along the torch to her. They tried to. My family tried to hit me with the whole "no, you're still our baby," and I was like, guys, I like the jig is up. Like I know where all the time, energy, and money is going to, and rightfully so. Like I was like, yeah, what's the next generation? I knew from like early on. I was like, man, I'm gonna teach her all the stuff that I wasn't able to do at her age, or that I didn't know at her age, so she can surpass me, all that good stuff. But no, it's been a dope experience. Living, I mean, I was with her when she was born, and then about 1 year old, I went back home to Guam, and then family was in the military traveling, and then we met back up when she was like 4. So from 4 all the way to now, she's 7. Like we just been living together, and it's been dope, man. I love the little girl. I'm trying to, like you said, trying to just be a role model and mentor and anything like a big brother needs to be, you know what I mean, and more.
What's it been like now that you two are living together and you get to see her on a daily basis as opposed to what it was like before?
But it was dope. I mean, granted, I did sacrifice a lot of time with her because I was focused a lot on like, well, not focused, but I just had a lot of work and I was just focused a lot on dance at the time. I was like barely home because I was just either at work or at the studio. When I would come home, she'd be knocked out. When I would wake up, she'd be off to school. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always like, we got her into dance. We
Mm-hmm.
try to get her into sports. I try to take her out as much as I can, but it wasn't until quarantine where we really got a chance to like bond and
Mm.
grow even like a deeper connection than we were. Like it's crazy. During that whole time, like our parents, they were working, so I wasn't working. My shop was closed, so I was able to step up and be like a teacher, do all her homeschooling because they all went to distant learning, all the kids and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
then helped her with her schooling, and during that time, I was really able to see her grow, learn, and do these things in real time. And that was a turning point for me. I was, missing family time because I was focused on my own journey in dance. So being able to just pause and invest in that really like, showed me where I need to set a lot of my time and a lot of my energy towards. I can't just put it all into one place. You need to be smart with your time and your energy. You need to split it and put it where do you need to go. It's like having different plants. You can't just like focus on your favorite. Like you definitely gotta make sure all your plants are watered and have good sunlight and all that stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
some are gonna die. And it's like, do you want a garden or what? So I've just been trying to take that time to assess where I want to set my time and energy to. So it's been good, man. It's been good. It's been dope. She is, just a dope, supportive younger sister. I have her around when I'm choreographing. She's taking some of my classes. I bring her to the other beginner classes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get her used to that space. You know what I mean? So she's
Yeah.
comfortable with it, and so she always let her know she always has that option. At least with me, like, you can always dance, you can always do what you want to do in the arts, because that's what I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
I'll support it,
How does she
and I'll be
like?
able to help out.
How does she like her experience so far, just taking dance classes?
She loves it. I mean, we started with ballet. She did
Mm-hmm.
she did like 6 months of ballet, and she loved it. Like, she loves performing and doing all that stuff. We got her into hip hop, and she took a Miss Issa's class. Shout out to Issa, and
Mm-hmm.
she said, "That's fast." I said, "Whoa, baby, it's not ballet, that's for sure." But I mean, I've caught her like making her own dances, and I've caught her like freestyling. Like, she doesn't know what she's doing, but she's like freestyling because she's dancing to a song that she knows like the beats and lyrics to, and
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
she's like, I don't know, it's like she's doing her own thing, and it's dope to watch, and it's like, all right, cool, like it's just cool to have like a little person, a little, like, someone that, yeah, you have a little person like just there like that, you can I don't know, man. It's just it's a different feeling. I've never,
Mm.
like I tell you all the time, I never thought I could love someone or something as much as like I love my little sister.
Mm. Is it
Mm-hmm.
is it do you think you'd be so happy and excited to like obviously be there to for her during her like this huge stage of her life growing up if it was like something that wasn't dance, like maybe if it wasn't something that you didn't enjoy yourself, like obviously that worked out that she enjoys dance, so it makes it a little bit easier, or what's that like?
Bro, I told her you can do whatever you want, but if you want the best help from brother, it's gonna be dance.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh yeah, I want the best help from you. Yeah, so I'm like, you can go sing. Probably get you a coach, but I'm just not gonna be able to help you sing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's something we can do together. I try to like, I try to convince her like that, and
yeah.
try to make it fun like that. But I'd be getting into my whole like Rutherger freaking dance mom. I'd be getting into like that little attitude. I'm like, yo, no, go lower. No, do more. No, you ain't, like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you can have fun, but you can have more fun when you're good. You know what I mean? Nah, but yeah, I just, it's been something where I've seen all the movies. I've seen I've heard all the stories. I've seen all the examples pan out. Like, I'm not gonna try to force it and have her hate it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give her space, but I'm gonna be dope at it, and I'm gonna show like, yo, look, you can do it too. She's been to I think she's been to every like, what are those called, preview nights that we've had, our friends and family. She's been,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like all the big ones. Like, I try to make her see it. I'm like, you
Yeah.
need to, like, look, like, this is something that you can do. You know what I mean? And I just think, like, I mean, because that's what gets me into like most of the things that I get into is like I just see it, I come across it, I'm like, oh, what's that? And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, well, I want to do it. So yeah, just trying to get her out and seeing things, and especially when COVID ends, like, getting her out and more things, man.
I mean, you kind of touched up on it with COVID and talking about, it's, I've kind of said this too, it's obviously really unfortunate, but it's also been a big blessing and a pause. And so just talking about like you said, that lifestyle change, going from not really ever seeing your sister because of the schedules being completely opposite to now
Mm-hmm.
really getting a lot more time to be afforded to be with her and to bond with her, especially at such a critical time in her life. What's that
Yeah,
been
I
like?
think it's I think it's super important because this is definitely a pivotal time. This is a time that, like, will like she'll hold on to these feelings and memories like for life because they're so, you know, they happen like early on. Like these are like your childhood moments. So trying to give her a positive experience and a positive one. That's just like the goal. And um, I knew that I was like, oh, this is definitely an opportunity for me to try to give her these like lessons and to try to create that bond and to try to, you know, just give her like some jewels, some gems, like, yo, do this, don't do that. Oh shoot. And like, and you know, just all those little things. So yeah, like you said, COVID has definitely been a eye opener. Like
Mm.
now, I'm scheduling my time where um, I can see her more often,
Yeah.
help out school stuff more often, try to do those things more often, and just be more involved instead of like, you know, oh, brother's always busy or this or that. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. Trying,
Well,
like I said, trying to find that balance and really trying to just divvy up the time equally, or not equally, but just where it's supposed to go and which matters more.
absolutely. I think hearing all these great things, it's like I did want to ask, what has been your favorite thing about being big brother, and then also maybe like one of the more difficult things. Like what's been the best thing and what's also been like the hardest thing.
I think one of the best things is like I don't know how to say it, but it's just like trial for having your own kid. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I'm like, dang, like I'd be a great dad. Or it's just like, I get to practice future parental styles of my own because I'm literally, I treat her like my own, like, daughter, you know what I mean? Like, we still have that brother sister relationship, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's just, one of the best things is just being able to just connect with just another person, you know what I mean? Like, as my sibling, it's someone younger than me, it's a female, like, it's just all these things that I get to just connect with and learn from. Like I learn from her every day.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like just I've been through a lot of shit and she's so pure and innocent. So how
Mm.
she looks at things and how I look at things, it's just like, oh crap, like I could learn something from your perspective, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like why she asked me like just questions that I wouldn't even think about, or it could be like the simplest thing that I'm just overlooking because I'm thinking too much about it, and it's like,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, we can keep it simple. So that's definitely been like some of the best some of the best things I've learned from this experience. And yeah, I mean some of the hardest things was coming to grip with that I wasn't putting time where it needed to be going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I just like don't want to be losing out on those moments. And also it's like I said, dealing with another personality, someone that's younger than you, be like, you try to be authoritative, but sometimes, you can be like, I don't know, sometimes you go too far. Sometimes I don't know, it's just like trying to learn like limits, I guess. Trying to learn limits with each other. Has been something that's been like kind of like difficult as well. Trying to teach stuff at the same time, practice it, um, like pick up after yourself or clean your room, but I can't be telling you to do that if like my stuff is not clean. So yeah, just trying to like I said, it's like learning from each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I think you even touched up on it too, talking about the different perspectives on how you two may look at things. Obviously, with all the shit that you've been through, and for her just being so young that she hasn't, experienced those things. And so just looking back and thinking like how pure her view and just her nature is, and everything, but then also knowing that the complete contrast of like growing up in a completely different time. Like she's in a world where like everything is at our fingertips, and we kind of grew up in a more like kind of more similar to our parents and our older cousins and whatever.
Yeah, like I would learn stuff through like stories and going out and seeing different people and them telling me something, and it's like, oh, okay, whoa, well that's what's happening. Oh, that's what's going on.
Mhm.
But now it's like, they have YouTube, and like they can navigate that. They don't even have to know how to read or write. Like they have voice commands, and things
Mm,
are just, like you said, things are at their fingertips. Like you can't even really parent or child proof the internet anymore, because it's like they're gonna
mm-hmm.
find a way to get around it. They're gonna take your phone. What, you're gonna parent block your own phone? No, you're not.
Yeah.
You have all these devices, TV, smart TVs, tablets. Like, you can't parent through all of that.
Yeah.
You can't, like, so like at the end of the day, like they're gonna find a way to get information, and information is gonna find a way to them. And like that's just something that I always. I mean, I'm always real with my sister. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to like I mean, obviously, like I don't go too crazy into detail with things, but like, I let her know straight up like what's good, what isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she asked me a question about cops recently. I was like, nah, they bad right now. Like it's not the right time. And then
Mm,
she's just like, why? And I was just like, you know what? It's just like I'll educate you, and like I told her like the basics, but it's just not
yeah.
gonna get in super super detailed. But yeah, man.
Damn. I mean, I did want to ask, final thing, and it's kind of a different spin. It's kind of something that I kind of ask everyone that I bring on, and it's more relevant now to the first topic that we had spoken about.
Cool.
But if you had to go back, if you could say one thing to your 13 or 14-year-old self, and your sister's, she's a lot closer to that age than we are. So whether it's something that you would say to yourself, to your like 13 or 14-year-old self, or even something you'd say to your sister, whether you have said it or are you waiting for the right time, just in terms of navigating through life and knowing all the experiences that you've lived and you've seen and you've read and you've heard, what would you say to your sister?
Um, always be always be open to new things, even like the biggest and scariest change could be like a blessing in disguise. Because you never know like what the next step is gonna be, or where you're gonna go from there. Um, and then for at least for me personally, at that age, I was just so comfortable and stuck at just where I was doing, certain group of friends. I was scared to do things, and it wasn't until it was like around like I was 15, so it was like right after that where I started to actually like break out and try sports and talk to different people and just do a bunch of different things, and was open minded. And when I look back at it, every big change I've had in my life that I resented or was scared of or anything, like nothing but positive things came from it.
Mm,
Like I said, blessing in disguise. So I would just say, just be open to it. You never know, like how many opportunities you're throwing away by just saying no to one opportunity. So yeah, man. And then just continue to be you.
mm,
Like don't just be you as much as you can. Definitely learn other things. Be inspired and try other things, but don't lose what makes you you.
Mm-hmm.
People can get lost, trying to having a certain image they want to uphold, and then doing things out of their character to try to fulfill it, and then it's like, yo, but you lost what we liked in the first place. You lost that you. So yeah, it's just staying true to yourself.
I love that. That's beautiful, and she's lucky to have you as a big brother. And I know that you're going to continue to be amazing human in person, and just a role model for her growing up. So she's in great hands. But Jaden, just thank you again. And those of you guys are tuning in to the Of Like Minds podcast, talking to Jaden here about his just his relationship with his baby sister, and just I can just hear it in your voice and just in the way you speak about her. And I know you love her to death. And so just thank you for sharing with us all those amazing things. And hopefully that you guys can have a takeaway from Jaden's narrative with his relationship with his sister. Whether you can relate, whether you have siblings or not, younger or older, it's a very special thing. And I think you are just you're a prime example of that. So Jaden, thank you so much for sharing and taking time to
Oh
just
yeah,
speak a little bit about that, man. Appreciate it.
bro, appreciate you for having me, dog.
Of course, man. We're gonna have you back soon, all right?
Hey, let's do
All
it.
right, all right, Brody. You take care. I'll talk to ya.